to Remainders. I'm your host, Darren Burrell.
And I'm your co-host, Patrick McIntyre.
We will explore the stories from our conscious collection of music, books, and film.
The ones that have shaped our lives.
Join us as we take a closer look at what remains. Welcome to Remainders, where we share stories from our conscious collection of movies, books, and film. The stories, the sounds, and the characters that stay with you long after they've returned to the shelves. Today and throughout this ongoing 10-part season, we will be exploring the steps within the creative process. Together, we'll talk through the steps involved and the joy that comes with fully immersing yourself in creation. Our season is currently underway with the first 5 episodes. If you missed these, you can go back and listen at any time on the podcatcher of your choosing. Today we're talking about rest and how it fits within our creative recipes. Most people are aware when they need to get some rest. Our bodies and our minds have a way of telling us. Some of us ignore those feelings and push on, while others listen and step away. The levels of rest all depend on each individual, and it's important to listen when our souls are speaking. You might have noticed that there's been a gap in between episodes here on Remainders. And this after we discussed deadlines in our previous episode. I know what you're thinking. Darren, don't you practice what you preach? Well, I do, but something happened to me in between the last episode and this one that I want to tell you about today. In some ways, what happened was the ultimate preparation and research I needed to put this episode on rest together. I'm a person that has always felt an intense need to create. I like to think I dedicate myself and apply my talents into every avenue and field that I'm interested in. My work life has always been chaotic and out of control because of it, but I just never really minded. Just as long as I was able to meet those deadlines, self-imposed or otherwise, and move on to the next project that interested me. Like most of you, there's been a great deal of change for me in my life these past couple years. I started to live my life during a global pandemic. I quit drinking alcohol in January of 2020 and decided to move to Los Angeles in May of 2021 to continue my life as a working artist. Last year began with a very planned out goal to continue painting and establish myself in this profession. As it turns out, though, the universe had other plans for me. For as long as I can remember, I've had back issues. I chalked it up to being a working musician. Carrying big amps up and down stairs for years surely took its toll, and I, like most of you, am not exempt from the pains we feel as we grow older. I went to see a doctor in Chicago before I moved, who quickly told me to start doing some stretches. This pandemic has wreaked havoc on all of us, he said, and I left feeling certain that I needed to stretch out the pain. A month later, I packed up my apartment and said goodbye to Chicago and drove to my new home in California. I drove with this pain in my lower back and legs all the way. When I arrived, the pain never really subsided. In fact, it got worse. Trying to paint and do the work I had planned to do proved almost impossible. Still, I was convinced I could mentally work through the pain and keep driving. Why did I keep going when my body was so clearly telling me to pause and get help? I pushed through this pain for years, when a simple visit to the doctor could have taken me down the path to healing much sooner. Well, maybe it's the Midwest mentality of pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and never complaining that kept me from healing. I do believe that's part of it. There's other factors as well. But it needs to be said that I was always in control. Not my boss, not my family or friends, no one but me. We can't expect anyone to hold our hands when it comes to life's challenges. So it's important that you do not stop fighting for your health before, during, and after you recover. In July of 2021, I took a visit to the emergency room to force me to explore this pain that was plaguing me for years. I finally needed to take that break. At the ER, they took an x-ray on my back. They found a fracture on one of my vertebrae. A few days later, I saw a spinal surgeon that ordered an MRI, and they found 2 large tumors growing inside my spinal column. It turns out I have a rare genetic disease that grows these tumors slowly over my lifetime. They were completely filling the inside of my spine and pushing my spinal nerve all the way against the wall, causing this extreme pain that I had been feeling. Imagine getting that call. "We found tumors in your spine, sir." My life changed forever in an instant. The period of time passing after receiving that news is such a blur. No more painting, no more music, no more remainders, no more anything but finding out how to get these demons out of my body. All of the things I thought were important, the work, the deadlines, the friends and family depending on me, none of it mattered because finally I mattered. My health, my body, my mind, it all had to heal. When you're faced with a medical challenge like this, one of the biggest takeaways is that you have to fight for your health. No one will deem your condition as important as you know it is, so make sure you stay vigilant with your care. I say this because I was told that it would take a month or longer to see a specialist after my first emergency room visit. I needed help immediately, and I called so many doctors to find one that would just say yes to seeing me. Do not settle for someone else's schedule. You are important, and you know what your body is telling you. All of this being said, I needed to practice what I preach. All of the things we wear on our sleeves when we're healthy, those can't be ignored when we're sick. You cannot abandon who you are, and you must believe your own bullshit. This was where the Remainder's work has really mattered for me. I dedicated myself to being present with the pain, present with my thoughts, present with my feelings, and everything that was presented to me. The days leading up to emergency surgery were the most challenging of my life. Rapid tests to make sure I could undergo a laminectomy and the seriousness of that type of surgery. I did not sleep due to the pain for 3 whole days before that surgery. I was signing documents I could barely understand, seeing the uncertainty on the faces of the people I love, and wondering if all the sacrifices I made had somehow brought me to this moment. I knew I had to keep moving forward to get healthy. There really is no other choice in these situations. You've got to just keep going forward. On the day of the surgery, I was actually really excited, and I hate doctors. I hate all of the things that come along with going to a hospital. The most important work of my life, though, was putting this puzzle together on how I was going to get healthy again. The day of the surgery was like a jubilee because I had done it, and I knew that no matter the outcome, I did the best I could to take care of myself. Today, I'm happy to be healing. It's a slow process and something I'll have to monitor for the rest of my days. This will always be a part of my life, but the greatest gift is that I now value myself over everything else. Nothing is more important. I love the work I do. I truly love being an artist, but I cannot be an artist if I do not rest and take care of myself first. I hope that's the takeaway of this episode for you out there. It's simply to listen to yourself when you know you need some rest. If you're out there and you need some help with your particular challenge, I hope that you're able to truly take a break and focus on your health and happiness. Your work, your family, and your friends will still be there for you when you recover. I promise you. Mine have been, and it's been amazing. This has been the 6th episode in our 10-part series on being joyfully present in the creative process. If you liked this episode, we have a full first season you can consume on our website, remainderspod.com. There are 4 episodes remaining in this season. Thank you for listening to me, and we'll see you back here next time.